Good morning guys, and welcome to probably our first proper vlog of 2023. It brings us up to probably our favourite spot in the local area. We class this more of a home vlog because we feel at home with our animal friends around us. It's just me and Rach having a gentle walk around. Been through a pretty hard time recently, obviously with Debs passing on the 6th of January. Very hard to come to terms with that, but in her memory she would want us to continue to have fun, take you guys on the sort of adventures that we did last year. Hopefully you enjoyed those. We have got Florida again this year. I know it's October time, but we've got to build up to that, the things we'll do between. There'll be more motorsports, more events that we'll go to, and plenty more of this stuff. So anyway guys, hope you enjoy this. I'll try and put it together as best as I possibly can. It is extremely difficult to try and pick up the camera after something like that has happened, so I appreciate your patience, that's for sure. But let's go and do this. Pretty much had to come here first of all. Otters were always Deb's favourite little wildlife creatures, little bundles of fun running around. Over there I believe that will be Carol and Ernie. Now Carol and Ernie have recently had two youngsters. There's two little baby otters. They'll probably be in the shelter behind them over there. No names as yet, but regardless of what they call them, the names to us, the female otter, when we know which one it is, will always either be Deborah, Debbie or Debs, in the honour of my sister. But yeah, she always adored these little creatures. The wind's blowing about quite a bit, so trying to keep the camera steady is difficult. I've got it on like a grip mount. These are, I believe, Asian short claw otters. Don't know much about otters, to be honest with you. Pretty much what you read up on the website. But the thing with Whipsnade is it's very, very lethargic at putting information out. The babies are actually about 6 months old now. Anything in the zoo itself, you get second-hand information a good couple of months later. I think they'll pretty much eat small fish, prawns, shellfish of some form. I think the youngsters are still being weaned on milk. One of your free roaming wallabies there. I think he wants to be some sort of stunt driver or coordinator as he's filling himself a spot on the track here. So I think originally they were penned, and a few of them found their way out and they thought, well, they're not doing any harm, and as long as we continue to feed them in little shelters, etc., they'll stay local, and they pretty much have done ever since. Regarding your free roaming animals, this is a Mara, which is like a guinea pig family, large Asian rodent. Like the wallabies, they have free access to anywhere they want to go around the zoo. Okay, we have all the youngsters out now. So one of them is, as I said, Deborah, Debbie or Debs.
Dexter, this way.
Beautiful little family. Now hopefully going to go and meet Wilfred at last. Wilfred was a young giraffe, born I believe it was perhaps Halloween sort of time. Let's go and see if he's about. I'm guessing it's about the best you're going to see is maybe the back end of Wilfred down now. Mummy's to the side here. There's that tiny little giraffe there, you can just see the back of. A little glimpse of it in the corner, but not much. Obviously not being out with the public at the moment. This is obviously what Wilfred will grow into be, his siblings in now, but tucked away at the wall at the moment. So out of the sight of obviously the kids, which is common sense, they just slap the glass and maybe upsets the youngster. Okay, Rach, what do we know about aardvarks apart from they sleep a lot?
They sleep a lot.
Yeah, they pretty much do. This will be maybe the 5th, 6th time we've come up here to see them. They originally had two, one was called Nacho, one was called Terry. We've gone to see them in their pen. Every time they've been cuddled up and asleep. Since then they've had another friend come and join them called Dobby, and I'm hoping that Dobby has gotten both out of the sleeping environment and they're out playing in their pen. But probably we're going to get there and find 3 sleeping aardvarks. These are their claw marks and little footprints throughout their little enclosure. I'm certainly going to have to do my homework on aardvarks because I've never seen them do anything apart from asleep, which is, I believe is what they're doing now. That's a feeder over there. And I've seen videos of them all drinking from that, a little spinny thing.
Whatever it says, it's probably
okay, interesting, they are not in their pen, so they could be anywhere. So I'm guessing again there's no access to them because they're going to be in these shutters. They'll just come out in their own free good time. One of the African wild dogs asleep over there. The rest are probably in the thicket hidden away at the back there. But they're pretty much like most other apex predators, they will sleep a lot and then give you a lot of action for maybe 10-15 minutes. I believe there's maybe 3-4 of them here now. They're certainly having a good kit, that's for sure. There's actually 2 of them together, not just the one. But we'll let them be. That there will be Puff or Fitty, one of the Wolverines. Doing his Olympic trials by the looks of it, going out for a run. Certainly one of the more active animals this time of year. They sort of skip along, otherwise known as a honey badger. That is a Wolverine. Don't underestimate them because they are vicious. They may look cute, but they would take down a fully grown moose, even attack a bear.
Nie, ja ten tak zleczę.
Cinderella, the last of the remaining 3 bears. For now, we're supposed to be getting some more bears in the springtime. Is in, or being encouraged to hibernate at the back over there, while they make up this structure, which will have an indoor section, climbing frame, a pool, possibly an indoor pool as opposed to the outdoor pool, which is over there. And that will be something to look forward to come spring, early summertime. Construction is coming along slowly. I suppose you had the Christmas and late winter break. I can see piping for lights and probably waterworks going in there. And this is what it's all about here. Running, climbing and swimming. And that should be pretty cool. I'll certainly catch that on camera. This cool little fella here giving themselves a clean. There's one of maybe 3 or 4 European lynx in there. You see them more in the winter. When it's summertime with all the foliage, you won't see them for dust basically. They've got little heated pads, little bunkers around the ground area, but when it's winter time they're pretty much exposed to the elements of not being able to hide, and you see them up in the trees. I'm just going to turn around and say hello. So an update on what is currently happening with me at the moment. I go back to work tomorrow. I've been off for, I think obviously including the weekends, approximately 10 days, obviously with death of my sister. In that time yesterday I had an early morning appointment with a spinal unit at the local hospital, of which they've turned around and told me it's pretty much status quo for probably at least a year, because I don't fit the criteria, what with me BMI probably being a bit over the top. So they said there's nothing much they can offer me at the moment, so control what's going on with myself with pain killing meds such as naproxen, which is like a super strong anti-inflammatory, stronger than your normal ibuprofen for sure. And they give me this stuff called gabapentin, which is pills for your nervous system, but it does mean I can't drive on a regular basis because the pills make you giddy. Some of my relatives out there feeding. The old chimp island. Sometimes they have a dance off between them, all jump up and down, really high pitched screeching when they've had enough of each other. I think what we do for the rest of today is, as you can see, this is the old, I suppose it'd be Victorian era elephant house, which is a listed building which they can't take down. Very much fallen into disrepair over the years. It's just stood here. It's never been open ever since I've been coming up the zoo, which has been decades and decades. But we should go and see them in their more modern complex, and probably from there make our way back, see the tigers if they're about, and make our way home, because it is pretty cold. We are still January and winter. Trains will be back here during the springtime pretty much every weekend. Done it many a time in the past. It only cost about, I think it's £4 per adult, and you get a good view round the back of the elephant enclosure, and there's like a safari bit at the back with camels and all sorts of your horsey sort of variety of animals. So you've also got your camels, your yaks, etc. These are all big guys now. There's 3 brothers. One's called Tsar, one's called Mikatari, I believe, and the other one's called Dimitri. Their parents were Nala and Botsman, who I had the pleasure of photographing, doing a photo shoot with him when he first turned up here, because it was so snowbound that no one else could get up here. But these are their offspring, and these were tiny little cubs, but they certainly ain't anymore. He's obviously waiting for some food or something because he's pacing. Could be Dimitri, I'm not sure.
How do you know? Wait, no. Boy, I can tell you. Yeah, but mate.
Mucky pup.
Oh yeah, no.
Siberian. Good knowledge.
Because they're the biggest cat ever.
They're the biggest type of tiger, are they? Oh, look at that, snakes.
I shall let him pace back one more time, and then we'll go off and see some of our personal favourites, the elephants, and then we'll call it quits for today, because it is getting cold. What they actually do is they have a habit of seeing the colour green. They associate green because obviously that is what the zoo staff wear. They associate that with food.
Look, Logan. Logan, look.
Just noticed one of his brothers is fast to keep up there.
Did you see? Big tiger, isn't it? Where's Lily?
Where's that?
You've got a mixture there of wallabies and mara. There's probably 2 or 3 of each. And obviously with that one them struggling, I was wondering whether he had a joey or not, but maybe he's just pruning. Anyway, let's go and see the elephants. Obviously I don't have to walk this way to the elephants, I could go an easier way to the side, but this is just a bit more picturesque, should we say. This is the back of the area where they used to do Fantastic, a presentation back in the day. I think that the way society changed with the way with animals and the way they would get them to perform, etc. This is all from a bygone era, so this would be a little half-like stadium. Yeah, down the steps area here, and there would be things like putting loops over poles and putting balls in bins and things like that, and it would basically be a youngster out of the audience versus the youngest elephant. Now obviously the youngest elephant always used to cheat, but it was good entertainment back in the day. but maybe that time has passed for that, and it's more of a caring and learning culture, should we say now. And that's not just here, that's throughout all parks and zoological societies throughout the world. There's some warthogs and a little piglet. Didn't notice a little piglet till just then. It's like a little humbug. Cute little fella. Obviously in months to come he'll lose that colouring. That's for protection, to keep him safe in a natural environment as opposed to here, to keep him away from predators. But he will lose that and become like his parents, more of a, should we say, a charcoal colour. But for now he's just a cute dinky little humbug. Usually they have them in sets of maybe half a dozen. I think these are more warthogs as opposed to your wild boar. Similar sort of family, and the young look very, very the same at that age. It appears that the elephant herd is predominantly at the back there of the paddock. So that will be baby Nang with her mum, which is Donna. Donna's mum would be, I believe it's Karishma. It's either Karishma or Kaylee, and then not too far behind will be Auntie Luca, who herself can't ever have a calf. I believe at some point decades ago she was maybe 15 months into a pregnancy term, which lasts about 22 months I think for the elephants, and it died, but it's sort of fossilised within her, so she carries the baby with her forever. Sad. Yeah, I kind of wanted to see him in the indoor area because it's a lot drier in there. Obviously you don't get the wind blowing about. And you don't get the naff camera work as well that comes with this. When you're actually trying to hold this steady and it just blows about and you focus right in, because I'm quite a distance away from. See what I mean? I actually don't believe I want to go further forward to the internal bit and the sand bit at the back there, because that means going through a bog. So I will call it quits for that bit. I got to see the elephants, said me hello, but yeah, that will just churn up and make you all nasty. More of Yamara here on the top of the hill. Looks like Mum, Dad and the youngster, and we shall let them be and make our way out towards the exit of the zoo. It's been a good day. Well, that's made a start back into 2023. I needed to get out of my shell a bit with what's gone on with us. With Deb, it's been absolutely atrocious. We've all felt ill, run down. We've all had a cold. I suppose it's all the medical teams, etc., that were helping my sister in the final days. Will and Hospice, they were second to none, not only for Debs but for us. They really, really looked after us, but it's still sad. She went obviously Friday the 6th of January 2023, and things for ourselves will never be the same, but I will continue to do these in her honour. As you know, I don't ask for subscribers or likes, etc. That is pretty much down to you guys. You know how it works. And with that, thank you very much for watching. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. I know there's not a lot of it left. Back for work for me tomorrow, and I'll find something to do, possibly local, not too far away next weekend, and then look into doing some more out there sort of vlog, should we say. So yeah, thanks for watching. Be safe. I'll see you in movies. Bye for now. Does anyone remember Rod Hull? See you later, fella. Have a good one.